would like to just give a small legal background about trans rights and the law that's prevailing in India right now, so that there is a holistic understanding of what needs to be done. In 2014, the Supreme Court delivered the NALSA judgment. It's a very monumental judgment for trans rights because it was the first time the Supreme Court of India legally recognized transgender persons as those who have equal protection of law, equality before law, and also have all kinds of fundamental rights available to every person in the country. So that led to a series of changes in the law, and the Supreme Court also directed the state and central government to have reservation for transgender persons and legally recognize them in institutions, as well as provide other kind of benefits, welfare schemes, health schemes, so on. So this led to the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019. So the law that now governs trans rights is the Trans Act, 3G Act of 2019, and it also comes with its rules, which was enacted in 2020. So this is where we go to now the prevailing rights for transgender persons are. So under the TG Act of 2019, there is a two-step process to get a TG ID card. So if you see the act has its problems on its own, but I would just give a brief overview of what the act is and what you need to do to get the TG card and why do you need to get a TG card. Firstly, the Act does recognize the fundamental right of self-determination and then goes on to say that the transgender person shall possess a certificate of identity, that is the TG card here. Then if you want to recognize yourself as a binary gender, either male or female, then you have to apply for a revised certificate. So first, you have to identify yourself as a transgender person by filing a self-sworn affidavit and file it before the district magistrate. And then after seeing the veracity of it, the district magistrate issues a certificate of identity, which is the TG Act. But now, if you want to identify as a binary gender, a male or female, you have to produce something called a medical certificate showing proof that you have undergone some kind of medical intervention. So while the Act says a surgery is required for reflecting your gender as a male or female, the rules are inconsistent with that. The rules dilute the procedure and say medical intervention is any gender affirming procedure, which even includes a psychological report stating gender dysphoria by the doctor or hormone replacement therapy or even surgery for that matter. And then this should be issued by the chief medical officer or the medical superintendent by the medical institution, which can be either private or public. And after looking and checking at this certificate is only when the district magistrate can then give you the revised ID card. So this inconsistency has caused a lot of problems, and inherently the Act undermines NALSA itself, because NALSA recognized that every transgender person has a fundamental right to self-determine their identity. They can identify as a transgender person, they can identify as a male, or they can identify as a female without any proof of medical intervention. But this Act is in contradiction to that principle, and that is why it's being challenged before the Supreme Court by many trans activists and the community.